Hello there, and welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Professor Jacob, and thank you so much for attending this lecture on Pokemon biology. I am so sorry that we missed last week. I can't, it's heartbreaking to miss a lesson, you know, I hate doing it, but the class was in an absolute state of disrepair, and I apologize for the noise, but the Machokes are still, you know, working their magic in there. Still, I'm sorry, William Shire. You can, yes, go ahead.
Professor,
yeah,
please.
sorry about that.
Professor,
Thank you.
Please.
Yes, they're still working on fixing up the classroom. So let's go ahead and talk to the main offender of this. I believe it was a New Year's party.
It was.
Professor.
Yeah, it's hard to remember. It was a wild night. What can I say?
Yeah,
It's
but
wild.
my I used to say wonderful teaching assistant, but I don't think I'm gonna say that anymore. My teaching assistant, Mr. Kurtis. Please say hello to everybody, Mr. Kurtis, and explain yourself.
Oh, good jeez. I'm sorry, Professor.
Yes.
Oh gosh, you're just too
God.
loud. Oh, it's just. Oh. I'm still recovering. It was. I was here, you know, working late as I normally do, every day, even on holidays, and I just thought about how excited I would be of the new year. So I got Gary, and we started drinking Sody Pop and having a good time. And we got a little rough and rowdy, but, you know, Gary left pretty soon. It was just me. It was a party of one.
Oh, jeez, wow. That's a lot more depressing.
No, I walked in, too, because here's the thing.
Oh, wow.
I don't-
It feels like the
here's
story
what
is
happened.
changing by the minute.
It's not, well, you know, there's a lot of foggy memories, a lot of sugar, a lot of sody pops that happens. Let me tell you, I walked in because I thought it was class. I mean, this is a Wednesday, keep in mind. This was last week, and I thought it was class time. I was like, oh, we're coming to class. And Kurtis, I came here early, and Kurtis was partying it up in here, and it just turned into this whole thing. It's funny that Kurtis was so excited for New Year's that he actually started 3 days before New Year's, because New Year's was on a Saturday this year. and on a Wednesday, Kurtis was like, screw it, I'm going to start the party now. And then, yeah, instead of having a lesson last week, we ended up getting a little crazy on sugar and wrecked the entire classroom. So
That's right.
Yeah, the timeline is a little bit confusing. Don't think about it too hard. But that, by the way, that person that was talking, that's our trainer in training, Corbin. He is the
what's up?
The only student that does come in actually, like, you know, in the physical classroom, of course. You know,
That's right. Nobody else is brave enough.
we do, of course, love our virtual students. But you know, our Corbin here just needs a little bit of extra help, a little bit of hands-on extra help here in the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I appreciate that. I am very special. That means a lot.
Definitely.
Guys, Happy New Year. Do we have resolutions? What's going on? I resolve to be the best trainer possible this year.
Well, you're not a trainer yet. You won't be until we finish.
You get there one day,
going over every single Pokemon.
But listen. We're closer than ever because I don't know if you guys caught this or not, but we actually reached a milestone.
Did we?
Yeah. So today is lesson 76. Our last lesson, 75, is officially halfway through the Kanto Dex.
Oh.
I guess so. I mean, it depends on what Pokemon you include in
Well,
that. But
we're roughly halfway through the Kanto Pokemon.
That's true.
Guys, that's a big deal. One
You know,
step closer. I'm
should've-
halfway to becoming a Pokemon trainer. Halfway there.
Maybe in our next lesson, I'll do a cumulative test on every Pokemon we've talked about. Make it I don't know. Let's say 100 question test.
No, I don't
maybe?
think you need to. I don't think you need to do that.
Make sure you guys study, because it could happen.
The New Year's resolution for me is I'm not taking any more pop quizzes. So.
Oh, okay. See, my New Year's resolution is to make more pop quizzes and to make them harder.
Yeah,
That's my New Year's
That's what I
resolution.
want. Give it to me, Professor.
So you can either, you know, do your New Year's resolution or fail my class. It's up to you there, Corbin. Mr. Kurtis, what is your New Year's resolution?
To never drink Sody Pop again.
But Sody Pop is so good.
And
Sody Pop is good.
And to spend more time in the classroom than
Curtis, you're already
ever
here
before.
like 40 hours a week.
good.
And more than that.
I mean, you are starting to fall behind on some paperwork there, Mr. Kurtis. So.
Listen, I used to do 80 hours a week. I now am averaging about 62. I just need to pump up those numbers. Those are rookie numbers.
You really do.
So.
You really do. All right. Well, I'm very excited. I'm very excited. I'm very accelerated. I'm very excited to celebrate the new year by talking about the very first Pokemon of this new year. Are you excited?
I am thrilled. I can't wait. It's going to be a good one. I can feel it.
It's going to be a very good one. Does anybody know who it is?
Are you kidding me? It's been like 2 weeks. I'm not going to remember.
Well,
Tell me.
Mr. Curtis, would you like to take a shot? Corbin has given up.
This is definitely Rock Boy.
Yes,
Rock Boy.
We are learning about Rock Boy. Now,
You got it, Curtis.
some
Good
of
job.
you students at home may know Rock Boy by its real name, which is Golem.
Oh.
Not Rock Boy, because believe it or not, it can both be a male or a female. So Rock Boy wouldn't really make any sense now, would it?
No, I mean, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Okay, so would you guys like to see... Golems are a little bit rare, so I imagine neither of you have seen them in person. So would you... I actually have one here today, believe it or not, if you would like to see it.
Where is it? Where?
Well, it's in a Pokeball.
Oh.
Because that's how we store Pokemon when we're not
Right. Sorry.
digitizing them in our computers. That's also a little bit foggy.
Professor, I want to
Yep.
see. I want to see.
Okay, all right.
I want to see. I'll take 2. Let me see it.
Well, I only have one. All right, so here it is.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Big,
All right,
tough
big
rock boy.
Big boy.
So
Or girl.
now-
Is it a girl? I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't checked. So the floorboards are creaking a little bit. This Pokemon is a little bit hefty. It is 660 pounds.
Okay.
Yes, that's
Mr. Curtis, you got some competition.
right, that's-
you can't beat
Let's
me.
try to, maybe your New Year's resolution is to not be so rude there, Corbin.
Shut up.
That's okay, Professor. I like a challenge.
Okay. All right. Quickly. Tell me, what things do you notice about this Golem?
Well, if I tap it like this,
Don't tap. Maybe don't tap it.
It's
actually,
quite hard. My
True.
knuckles just in that light tap are so bruised. And
Well, listen. I'll tell you what. So
quite how
one of the
that
things I remember about Graveler is that it constantly pooped while it rolled. So now it seems like it's evolved to a point where the poop has solidified around it and turned it into these weird-looking stones.
I don't
That's-
remember that,
Arms
but
and
okay.
legs.
that was not true.
Yeah. Is that
it wasn't
feces
pooping.
around its body? Is
No,
that rocks or?
that is its skin. Okay.
I mean,
skin.
it kind of smells like scat a little bit.
Are you sure that's not Mr. Curtis?
Please.
Sorry,
catching a
Curtis,
whiff,
stand back
Mr.
a little
Curtis.
bit.
You guys are
Smell
so. I have I have not pooped on myself at all this week. Okay.
Good job.
Wow.
Good job.
It's
New Year's
baby
resolution.
steps. Baby steps there, Mr. Curtis. Okay, but that rock hard stuff that's surrounding Golem is actually its skin. It's super tough hide. Now you may every so often see a Golem that's like really like I don't know pale, and it has like really soft skin. That's because it has molted, because Golem are known to do that.
Okay.
They mold. Wow. Okay.
Wait. So
Yes.
it sheds this rough and tough exterior.
Yes.
Ow.
It can do that, which is crazy. And it can actually do a lot of other crazy things. So let me go ahead and put Golem back into its Pokeball. Say goodbye.
All right. Bye.
Okay, before it destroys the floorboards and makes more work for the Machokes here. You guys, by the way, are you guys close to being done with fixing up the classroom?
Just come back later, guys. I think it's
No,
fine.
it's fine. You're not interrupting us at all. It's fine. I would ask that you keep the drilling down a little bit, though. You have been drilling a lot.
That's true.
It's been a lot.
It's in this, and the sawing too. Like, I'm not quite sure what you were sawing. The hammering is fine. I understand the hammering. But the drilling and sawing.
It's a
maybe
little
tone down
distracting.
bit.
I'm gonna have to ask you guys to leave. I think.
No, you don't have to leave. I think they pretty much just need to put the door back on, and then that's about it.
All right. Well, careful with the door. Perfect. It's a little
Okay.
crooked.
Awesome.
That's fine. Okay,
That's
leave it.
fine.
Leave
Yeah,
it.
that's
It's
fine.
good.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry
Good job,
about it.
guys. Good job.
Okay, thanks for your work as always. There are poffins in the Pokemon break room, so feel
There
free
are.
to have as many of those as you want. Okay, All right, let's talk about the Pokedex entries for Golem. Who's ready?
Okay. I am.
Me, Professor.
Perfect. That's the full class. All right, question number one, or not question number one.
Question number one.
My
What?
goodness, I'm getting ahead of myself there. I'm just so eager for a pop quiz. I told you I'm gonna be doing more.
I'm not doing a pop quiz this week. Sorry.
Sorry, no, it's fine. I misspoke.
Not in the mood.
Let me Pokedex entry number one.
God.
Its boulder-like body is extremely hard. It can easily withstand dynamite blasts without damage. So, pretty tough boy. Or girl. We don't know.
And you were worried that me tapping it on its shoulder would be a problem.
I wasn't worried about it. I was worried about you.
Well, it did bruise up my knuckles, so...
Yeah, well, I mean, of course. The next one here says, once it sheds its skin, its body turns tender and whitish. Its hide hardens when it's exposed to air.
Okay.
Yeah, so
cool.
So it's not rock on its like outside. That's actually its skin that's just been like super hardened by some kind of interaction with the air. Who knows? Who knows what it could be? I don't know. It'd be interesting to find out though. All right, the next one here says its body, which weighs over 660 pounds, is hard as stone. It grows bigger by shedding its skin once a year.
Once a year. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
once a year.
So just the skin or the rocks on it?
The rocks are the skin.
Okay.
Rocks are equal to skin.
So, like, what's it look like underneath the rocks then?
Tender and whitish.
Okay. Sounds like me. All right. Cool. Continue.
You are tender and whitish.
You know what I am.
All right. So let's move on to the Johto region.
All right.
The first one here says it sheds its skin once a year. The discarded shell immediately hardens and crumbles away.
I mean, it's already pretty hard. I don't know how much harder it
Yeah.
can get.
I guess it gets so hard to the point where it's like brittle. It's like super, super brittle. I don't know. And just crumbles away.
Maybe. I guess. Yeah.
Immediately. Like it takes it off and like it touches the ground and just disintegrates. I suppose. All right, so this next one here is why I was a little bit worried about you tapping it, Mr. Curtis. It's because it says it is capable of blowing itself up.
Oh.
It uses this explosive force to jump from mountain to mountain.
That's cool. Mr. Curtis, you didn't think that through, did you? You could have killed everybody. That's not a mess that we can clean up. That's like end game, we're all dead sort of fiasco.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
No
endgame.
more professor, no more kiss-ass
Yeah.
Mr. Curtis,
Only
no
way
more
we're gonna-
eager trainer Corbin.
Only way we're gonna fix this is if we go back in time somehow and stop it before it can happen.
Yeah,
That
that would be
kinda
crazy.
endgame.
That would be crazy, but that's not possible as far as I
Not
know.
possible. I mean, there's some wild Pokemon out there. There might be a time traveling one.
Well, a lot of the ones that aren't tamed are wild. You're right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up. So, all right. So it can blow itself up, and we know it's not going to destroy itself because its body is so hard that it can withstand dynamite blasts. And more interesting to me, like, there's some really, really interesting chemical reactions going on inside this Pokemon. You know, from the fact that its skin gets super, super hard when it comes in contact with air, and the fact that it's, like, generating some kind of explosive force inside of its body, some kind of super, super energetic reaction in there. Honestly, I kind of want to crack one of these bad boys open and see what makes it tick.
Well, I don't think you should do that. I don't think that's...
Okay, I mean, I won't. I would never harm a Pokemon. I never have, and I never will.
You have, and you will.
Professor, just say
I
the
know.
word.
No, don't say
I'll
any
crack it
words.
like an egg.
Mr. Curtis, on the other hand,
I'll crack
Mr.
it like an
Curtis,
egg,
no.
Professor. Just tell me what to do.
No, don't tell him to do anything, please.
I'll think about it.
No.
The next one here says its rock-like body is so durable, even high-powered dynamite blasts fail to scratch its rugged hide. All right, we kind of already talked about that. All right, let's move on to the Hoenn region. First one here says, Golem live up on mountains. If there is a large earthquake, these Pokemon will come rolling down off the mountains en masse to the foothills below.
In mass?
En masse,
that
like
mean?
in like a bunch of them.
Oh, in mass.
In a mass of golems.
In a mass.
Enmasse, en masse, en masse.
I feel like that would almost cause another earthquake, though.
They are pretty heavy. I mean, I wonder how many they are going. And they're kind of rolling. So...
True.
I don't know.
True.
There might be a rumbling, but I don't think it's going to be an earthquake. Maybe a fissure. Maybe some kind of like
fissure.
magnitude of earthquake. Yeah. Maybe some kind of mud splash of.
Okay, stop saying Pokemon moves. Continue.
Maybe some kind of mud sport. I don't know.
It's a mud slap.
Mud slap. Maybe some kind of bulldozer. I don't know.
Okay, all right. Please stop. Please continue.
Okay, I'm
maybe
sorry.
some kind of horn attack. Horn.
No, that's not an Earth type move.
Mr. Kurtis, be quiet.
Idiot. Dumb, stupid Pokemon. Okay. Next one says, Golem is known for rolling down from mountains. This is what it's known for, guys. Not that it's like, super, super hard shell or the fact that it can explode on command. It's the fact that it rolls down mountains is what it's known for. To prevent them from rolling into the homes of people downhill, grooves have been dug into the sides of mountains to serve as guideways for diverting this Pokemon's course.
That would make sense.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay. Children, stay away from the Golem grooves.
Yep.
Don't want some accident to happen.
Yeah.
You never know when they're coming.
Straight up die.
It would kill you immediately.
No.
100%.
No, you don't think so?
Nah, you just gotta roll with it. When it comes to hit you, if you fight it, it's just gonna blast right through you. But if you just roll with it, then your body absorbs.
That's actually how you catch a Golem, by the way.
Yeah.
You can't use They can't use a Pokeball to start with. You have to, catch it in one of the grooves, and then it starts to trust you.
Definitely make it a lot easier.
Okay, the next one here says, it is said to live in volcanic craters on mountain peaks. Once a year, it sheds its hide and grows larger. The shed hide crumbles and returns to the soil. That's kind of beautiful.
Cool. Circle of life,
I wonder if it has any kind of, properties that make it good for growing plants on.
I don't know.
It's like super fertile or something.
I'm sure it could be like it could make moss and stuff. Could grow on it.
Because again, it's not like rock or dirt. It is skin. It's Golem skin.
It's skin. Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Well, and we know that dead bodies are good for the soil, right? They're good for growth. So it's gotta be. It's gotta be.
Didn't know that.
Exoskeletons gotta be good for the environment.
Yeah. Right. Is it? How many dead bodies have you tested that with, Corbin?
None. It's just common fact. Like everybody knows that.
Common.
Dead bodies are good for the soil, right?
That's right.
Suspicious.
That's why my backyard is always so fruitful.
I'm sorry.
From the Spinnerack that have passed away in his colony, I assume.
Right.
I was gonna say, Mr. Kurtis, are you trying to incriminate yourself right now? Huh?
No. The unfortunate breeding stock we lose every generation.
Oh, yes. You're talking about Pokemon, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Well, they're like family to me. They're not Pokemon.
That's weird.
Every lost Spinnerack is like a child ripping a hole out of my heart.
And sometimes when they look at you deep in the eyes, they kind of feel like a real human being. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, with their little fingers, and how sometimes they say, "Please, no, I'm not a Spinnerack. Don't throw me into the
what the hell are you
pile
talking
of
about?"
Then I say, "No, sorry, your legs are not long enough, or your pincer is not hard enough." So.
And then they always say, "No, it's because I'm not a Spinnerack. Please don't."
I don't like
me.
this. This is
into
like
the
horror
Pokemon
movie territory.
food blender you go.
I think we should move on. I don't like this.
Okay. Yes. Exactly. You know what? I will read more Pokedex entries. Thank you for giving me this platform.
Good.
All right. In fact, that does it for the Hoenn region, and it's time to move on to the Sinnoh region. It sheds its hide once a year. Its boulder-like body is so tough, even dynamite can't harm it. You've already heard this. It tumbles down mountains, leaving grooves from peak to base. So I guess apparently it can leave its own grooves. And then it goes on to say, stay clear of these grooves.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
We get it.
Obvious, really.
And there's another one here that's slightly different. It says, even dynamite can't harm its hard boulder-like body. Again, it's not a boulder, it's boulder-like.
No, it's not. You're right.
It sheds its hide just once a year, so only once.
Once. Annual.
Only once. Yes, annually.
Yes.
Okay, and that does it for the entries in the Sinnoh region. The Unova just copies the Sinnoh entries.
Always do.
Kalos does as well. So it's time to move on to the Hoenn region. Alola region. I just really like the whole Hoenn region, guys. Alola.
Yes.
Its body can survive dynamite blasts without a single scratch, but it hates rain and humidity.
Oh.
I don't know why. It doesn't say why.
Oh, well, I mean, that makes sense because when Graveler would roll through rivers, it would explode.
It would just explode.
Oh, that's true.
That's a good point. The fundamental flaw of a Graveler.
So maybe when it gets rained on, it kind of activates the trauma response, of like, oh, I remember like when I was a Graveler and I would blow up when I would roll through rivers, so I would hate for it to rain on me more. You know what I mean?
But it does willingly blow itself up, so I'm not sure that it would
right, but
be
it's a
afraid of
trauma.
blowing up.
It's it's a trauma response. It's owned its pain by enabling itself to blow up. Like it would blow up willingly now. Is what I'm saying. It took its pain and used it as a weapon.
It's blown up so many times by falling into rivers that it's learned that it's time to do that. I can do that on demand.
Exactly.
I think it has more to do with the fact I think the rain and humidity softens its boulder like outsides, its exterior. And I think that's why it hates it. It doesn't say that. This is pure conjecture on my part. It's not in the Pokedex entries, but that is my hypothesis.
Okay.
Yeah. That's fair. I'll give you that.
The next one says, once a year, this Pokemon molts, and its shed shell, man, that's hard to say, shed shell returns to the soil. This process creates enriched soil so farmers collect the shells. Oh, hey, look at that. It was in the Pokedex.
Called it.
It does enrich the soil.
I told you.
Good to know.
All about the bodies.
Yes. Anybody will do.
Oh, okay, stop.
Just take your pick of bodies. How about a Spinarak with cute eyes that are staring at you? And it's 10 fingers and 10 toes. And make you wonder, wait a second.
Toes? They don't have toes.
Do Spinaraks have any digits at all? But you can't quite remember as you throw it into the Pokemon grinder.
Please,
That's
all right,
right.
I'm done. This isn't
The
horror
Poffin
story
pot
time with Professor. No,
goes
we're
right
done.
in the Poffin pot.
No.
Poffin pot. Everybody knows Poffins are made of Pokemon.
Oh,
That's right.
No, they're not.
That's why they're so good for
Only the
feeding
good
to
ones
new
are.
Pokemon.
All right. Enough teasing Corbin. Let's move on with the entries. When Golem grow old, they stop shedding their shells. Those that have lived a long, long time have shells green with moss.
Ooh.
That's one way to know you have an old Golem on your hands. All right, and the last one from the Alola region says, it detonates its own body. The power from that explosion can propel it up steep mountain paths with amazing speed.
There you go.
Damn.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that the Golem explodes its own body, but it's still alive. And
Yeah.
Sure.
moving
It's like a
extremely
fart.
fast.
Right. It knows exactly where it's going and the trajectory and everything.
I would have to assume it can direct the angle of the explosion.
That's
right?
what
It
I'm
can't
saying. It's got to know because it's
'cause,
going
like,
from
if
mountain
it-
to mountain.
If it just explodes and all the force goes outward, it's just gonna stay in the same spot, right?
Right.
It would have to direct it if it wants to propel itself in any meaningful way.
Well, like I said, it can control where it goes from jumping mountain to mountain, so it's got to know.
Yeah, it would have to. All right, that does it for the regional Pokedex entries on Golem. Let me go ahead and read the one unique Pokedex entry. It's very short. It comes from Ash's Pokedex. It says, Golem, a Megaton Pokemon. Once a year, it sheds its bedrock shell and grows larger. Yeah, all right. Pretty standard.
Yeah.
Thank you
that.
there, Ash. And that does it for the Cantonian Golem. There's actually there's a regional variant of Golem. And
Shut up. There's not.
Form.
Be quiet.
I mean, we should know this. There was a Alolan Geodude and Graveler, so it makes a lot of sense that there is an Alolan Golem.
Yeah.
That's true.
That
I don't
makes
think
sense.
I really, shocked anybody to their core.
I mean, you shocked me a little bit, but
I mean,
okay.
it shocked me, but not in that way.
Oh, I get it. Because Alolan Golem is an electric type Pokemon. It's rock and electric.
Kurtis, that was very witty. Did you have that? Yeah, on a note card on your desk.
I see. No, it was written on his hand. I
Yeah,
see it. I can see it from here.
it's over here. Goes right through the. See right there.
What are you doing? I can't tell from here.
It's on my hand.
Fun
You
shadow
can't read it off.
puppets.
You can't read it off my hand here.
No, I saw it. I mean, you're getting ink all over the desk, but
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course, like I do. Let me read some Alolan Golem Pokedex entries that come from, believe it or not, the Alola Pokedex.
Okay.
The first one says, it fires rocks charged with electricity. Woo! Even if the rock isn't fired that accurately, just grazing an opponent will cause numbness and fainting.
And death.
Yeah, well, I think a rock that is fired accurately would cause death immediately.
Right. So is the numbness just from taking like blunt damage from the rock, or is the numbness from the electricity encasing the rock that is being fired?
It's got to be the electricity.
Yeah, that would be my guess for sure.
So
the next one
you
says,
get electrical damage and rock damage.
I mean, you just kind of take damage. I guess. Yeah, sure. Yes, you take both. The next one says, because it can't fire boulders at a rapid pace, it's been known to seize nearby Geodude and fire them from its back.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool. That's fun.
It seems like those
Hey,
are.
Tommy, get over here. Pow!
Wow. I felt like I was right there watching
I
it
was
happen.
role playing
was
an
beautiful.
Alolan Golem in that moment. Hope you.
I mean, those Geodudes. I mean, are kind of like, maybe they aren't its kids, but they are other members like of its species. It's pretty brutal just shooting it out of your.
Well, I mean,
out of your
Geodudes
weird
can take a
cannon
punch.
thing.
They can take a punch. They're fine.
They can, I guess, but they didn't like being stepped on. I imagine they really don't like being fired out of a rock cannon.
Yeah.
Imagine if you taught Geodude to explode like a Golem. Then you could have the Golem firing the Geodude and the Geodude exploding, so it could be like an exploding shrapnel shell coming at you. Super hard.
Wow, that's pretty crazy. All right, the next one says, the next one says, it's grumpy and stubborn. If you upset it, it discharges electricity from the surface of its body and growls with a voice like thunder. Ooh. They always go the extra mile in these Alola Pokedex entries. Like that kind of, that like, I don't know, it's so poetic, right? It really just conjures an image in your mind. You can practically hear the Golem talking to you.
That's right.
That's cool.
Yeah. All right, the next one says, it shoots large rocks that are charged with electricity. Tremendous electric shocks are flung out across the whole area of impact.
All of it.
Yeah, like you're cracking an egg full of electricity instead of yolk.
Yikes.
Yeah, or other Pokemon inside of it.
Sounds tasty.
So if you walk in that field, do you just get paralyzed or something, or?
What do you mean field?
Well, numbness and what was the other thing it said?
Oh, the electric field. Numbness and fainting were the two things.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I thought that was if you get hit by a rock.
I mean, I guess so. I don't know. Wait, what exactly was your question, Corbin?
I'm saying, like, what happens if you step in that electric field?
You'll probably get shocked by electricity.
Okay.
Would be my guess. So we could test it out.
Okay. No, we don't need
You want
to
to test it out? No? Okay. All right. I'm just saying the option's always there. I know how to get an Alolan Golem. I do know somebody from the Alola region.
Really? Who's that?
I don't want to talk about it. The next.
You're talking about Professor Palm. Oh, he's much better. Well, why don't we get him in here?
What do you mean by better? Better at what? Better than me, just in general?
No
Is that what you're
no
saying?
one's better than you, Professor.
Well, let's be
Exactly.
honest.
Corbin,
there's a
don't
lot.
speak such blasphemy.
What was that word?
Don't speak such splash for me.
Yeah, don't splash for me. Splash for him.
Don't speak some splash for me.
All right, the last entry
look,
here.
I'm a huge
calm down.
fan. I'm a huge fan. That's all I'm saying.
Huge fan.
Professor Palm, huge fan.
I've read his book. The last entry here from the Alola region says, it uses magnetism to accelerate and fire off rocks tinged with electricity. Even if it doesn't score a direct hit, the jolt of electricity will do the job.
Ooh.
Ooh, yeah.
do
Okay.
it.
That does it for the regional entries. There is one. By the way, there were no Galarian entries. This is one of those Pokemon that's not allowed into the Galar region for some reason.
Wait, there's no
and they have
Galarian
rocks.
ones for. Oh, okay.
There's no entries.
That sucks.
I know, it's disappointing,
dangerous.
isn't it? Too scary. I mean, it is the Megaton Pokemon, so it's pretty scary. The last unique entry comes to us from some random person's Rotom Pokedex. It says, Golem, Alola form, the Megaton Pokemon, a rock and electric type. It uses electricity to launch rocks and stones. What's the difference between a rock and a stone?
Rocks are bigger.
Are they? I guess so, but at which point does a stone become a rock?
I think when you can no longer hold it with one hand, it goes from being a stone to a rock.
Okay,
yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
But that means a stone for one person could be a rock for another person.
Very true.
It's true. All a matter of perspective.
Yeah.
All right, so it goes on to say, its eyebrows and mustache. By the way, I don't know if we mentioned this. Alolan Golem does have eyebrows and mustache and a pretty big beard.
Sweet.
Its eyebrows and mustache are gathered iron filings. So, kind of like how the Alolan Geodude had, like, iron sand on its head. It's kind of the same thing for these, for the mustache and eyebrow looking things on Alolan
cool.
Golem's face. Yeah.
I dig it.
And that does it for all of the Pokedex entries.
That's it.
Yeah.
Class is done.
Well, no, not quite.
No, class can't be over. I'm not
Yep.
ready.
Well, Mr. Kurtis doesn't want it to end, so I guess I'll scrounge around here and see if I can find another thing. And oddly enough, I know I said I'd try to have more, but there is not a pop quiz this week. I'm
What?
not doing a pop quiz. In fact, I've decided to kind of shake it up a little bit. I want to, you know.
Well, this is wonderful. Did Christmas come early?
No, now it would be late.
Well,
There is a
early as in
Christmas.
like later 2022. Like that's like
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
A whole
Yeah.
year early.
No, it does
like
not.
a whole year early. Yeah.
Well, instead I have a different assignment for you.
Uh-oh.
I'm calling it Pitch a Pokemon. I would like for you to devise a pitch for me. I want you both have golems.
I'm so bad at baseball.
You both have golems, all right? And you are both trying to get me to purchase your golem.
Oh.
All right?
Okay.
So
I mean, you can't
want
have my
you
golem. If I have a golem, that's
to-
mine. You can't buy it.
No, but you have an excess of golems and you're trying to sell me it.
Okay.
I do?
Yes, in this thought experiment.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So I want you to write for me a presentation, if you will, that will convince me to buy your golem. All right?
Okay.
And I will decide whoever does better, I will buy their golem and they will get, I don't know, extra credit or something. I haven't really thought about how I was going to grade this.
10 golden stars.
10, you will get 10 golden stars.
Oh, but that's like
Sweet.
my whole star allowance for the week.
Well, time to make more.
Yeah, you better win it then, Mr. Curtis.
No.
All right, so go ahead, take this
Were
time
we actually
now.
writing this out?
Take this time now. Yes, write it out, write it down, and then when you're ready, we'll come back. We'll hear your presentations. All right, students, if you are ready, I would
Yes.
like, Corbin, please
Yes.
present to me
Aw.
this offer, this
Gladly.
this deal.
Gladly.
wanted to
Do I get
go
to come to the
first.
front of the classroom today? Is that
Yes,
is that the thing?
please, sure, come on
Sick.
up. I'll go
Okay,
sit in
cool.
your seat. I'll go sit in
All
your
right, cool,
seat.
cool. You know, I like the power
Oh,
differential.
Professor,
here.
don't sit there. That seat's dirty.
No, it's shut up. You're dirtier than me.
Please take my seat, Professor.
I like this.
Oh,
I
thank
like
I'll
you.
sit on the
you're. I can see the stains on your desk.
I like me above
seat.
you. This is
They're-
nice.
they're
You know,
stains
looking
of
down
love.
on you. This is how it
Love
should
All
be.
right, everybody, focus. We're here.
Okay,
It's still
okay,
a classroom. All right, I know I'm
You're right.
doing a fun thing for once, but whenever you're ready, there, Corbin, please.
It is time. Okay, here we go. Presentation time. All right. So picture this.
okay.
Professor Jacob.
Yes.
You work for the
Take me away.
military. You're a contractor or something. Be quiet. Let me talk.
Okay.
You work for the
Okay, I'm sorry,
military
I'm
and
so
you're a
sorry.
contractor or something. What better weapon to have on the battlefield than a golem? It's impervious to explosions. You could throw whatever you want at it, dynamites, explosives, rockets, whatever, RPGs, it's going to take it all. It's going to gobble it up. Yum, 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 yum. That's fine. I will take it. And if it can survive explosions, that's got to mean it can survive bullets too, right? It's got to be bulletproof. There's no way. So if you have the high ground on the battlefield, you can also use its 660 pounds of weight and its love for rolling to roll down the mountain or hill or wherever you are and use that to an advantage, and you can destroy any foes in its path. It's done. Anything
done.
below it is gone. You can have an entire just entourage of golems just flying down a hill, and guess what? You've won. You've wiped out so many. That's your cavalry right there, okay?
Oh, wow.
So once you line the front of the battlefield with Cantonian golems, guess what you got behind them?
Okay.
Maybe a slowpoke or two or something? No, shut up. It's a line of Alolan golems firing electrically charged rocks onto opponents to mobilize them. So you got the front line of golems, you got the rock electric type golems behind them, and they are just pelting them. It's like trebuchets, but they're electric and they're rocks, and they have beards. So once you have that, you pretty much got all you need. You have an impenetrable force of big rock beasts that your army could rally behind. That's an army I would fight in. Just so you know.
Really gotta watch out for those water types, though. Maybe somebody's packing a Blastoise that could, shoot down your golems before they even get there.
You just give them all a bunch of rain jackets, and you're good to go. It's indestructible.
Okay, all right. That's pretty
There you
good.
go.
Just a
Pretty
cool
good.
team. Army, I love it.
I abhor war and any kind of violence, so I don't. It's kind of a hard sell trying to get me into the mindset of a military arms dealer, I think is what you're trying to
said
sell me
military
here.
contractor.
A contractor, okay.
There's a difference.
Okay, but I see their usability. Very, very good there, Mr. Corbin.
Thank you.
Thinking that. I wish you
Mr.
wouldn't
Corbin, I like
be
that.
so violent with it, but baby steps. All right. Mr. Kurtis, if you please, Corbin, come take your seat back if you
okay.
if you
All right.
would.
Okay.
All
right.
Mr. Kurtis, go ahead. Take the front of the classroom.
Yeah, Professor, please take a seat. Take a seat right here.
I'm gonna remain standing. I don't think I want to sit.
Yeah, you should. There's stains. There's stains there.
That's your choice, Professor. Hold on. All right, let me get up front. Me.
Get on with it.
Okay.
Okay. Today.
Okay, I'm ready. All right.
That was my water.
Thank you, Professor.
That's gross.
Okay.
So, is everybody ready?
I've been ready.
Yep, go for it. Whenever you
All
are.
right, here we go. And, all right. Whew. All right. Have you ever said to yourself, geez, I wish this crowd of people would just get out of the way? Or, this line is taking forever. I need to get the professor his coffee before he makes me scrub the bottoms of the desks for the 4th time this week. Well, have I got the perfect Pokemon for you?
Oh.
Introducing your personal bowling ball, Golem. Say goodbye to any obstacle ever again, as your personal bowling ball recklessly and unapologetically flattens or destroys everything in its path. Pesky fence spring up overnight? Boom. Inconvenient car parked directly in your path? Pow.
Well, that's somebody
Police
else's property.
blockade surrounding your house? Not anymore.
what?
And when plowing down
Hold
the
on.
competition isn't going to work, it could just blow itself up too. Problem solved. Nothing survives.
Oh.
Oh God.
Nothing survives, so we're just killing people now? What's going on?
That's it.
Well, you
it.
were
Thank
you
you.
were
Thank
also killing people.
That's okay. That's on the front lines of war. Mr. Kurtis is like, you got a problem with your neighbor? Blow him up. Like, that's like his pitch here.
Oh, no, I did. I don't have any problem with my neighbor. They're very quiet.
Do you even have neighbors?
Now they're very
Now
quiet.
they're quiet.
Yeah, they're a couple acres away. I live pretty isolated, so you need a lot of free land when you run a Spinnerack
Not
farm.
isolated enough, if you ask me.
All right. So was that your entire presentation?
Yeah, that was it.
Wow.
All right. Again, a very, very violent use of Golem here.
He's a violent Pokemon. Leave him be.
None of you decided to utilize his ability to make really fertile lands, or the path making opportunities for Golem here.
Well, sorry.
Well, I mean, mine clears paths, so I talked about doing that.
Yeah, over the bodies of the innocent, unfortunately.
Or a
Right.
fence that springs up overnight.
That doesn't happen.
Or a car that parked directly in your way.
That's unrealistic.
See, I'm at a loss here. Like, if I
Which
were
one would
to
you
wage
buy?
war, I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna be doing any kind of major war things here.
Well, that's where you're.
And
That's
I feel
where
like,
you're at fault.
I feel like the water Pokemon disadvantage is something that you shouldn't be overlooking with your army entirely made of rock type Pokemon.
I think you're overlooking it. Rain jackets. Come on.
And on the other hand, I also don't want to kill innocent people like Mr. Curtis is suggesting.
Oh no, never.
Now-
Did you just get him out of the way?
Now that being said,
Well, let me ask you this.
Okay,
Let me
yes,
ask you this. What's
go
better,
ahead.
to kill people in war or to kill people that are innocent?
now that's a question.
Somebody's got to die in this scenario, so you just got to.
Somebody, it's like the trolley scenario here.
Exactly.
Whose
Golem are you buying?
I don't know. I'm on the fence.
Well, Curtis's Golem's going to take it out, so you have to pick.
I think Mr.
think
Curtis, I
when
think you're. Yes, go ahead.
When it boils down to it, here's the thing, right? Corbin is suggesting you use Golem as a machine to war, and as you've already pointed out, Professor, it's not very useful in that aspect because of its inherent, disadvantage to water types. But what I'm suggesting is a more utilitarian, an everyday Golem, a Golem for the man who's on a mission and has no time to wait in pesky lines or behind pesky police barricades. He needs to go, and the Golem is the Pokemon for the job to get him going.
But that's all illegal.
That's my take, Professor.
It's illegal.
It is illegal. That is a very good point. That's something that should be overlooked as well. I think I am gonna go with Mr. Curtis's. Though. I'm gonna go with Mr. Curtis's. I would if we ever do this thought process again. Corbin did utilize the Alolan variant.
I did. Curtis didn't even mention
Mr.
it.
Curtis
Can you believe
didn't.
that?
Oh,
And he did talk more about its you both did very, very well, which is why I'm having trouble. And your pitches were fairly similar. I am.
You have 5
leaning
seconds.
I am leaning more towards Mr. I'm gonna go with Mr. Curtis's
4.
because I feel as though the everyday use there is more apparent. And
right.
you're kind of Corbin. You're kind of asking me to buy an entire army of Golem, where Mr. Curtis is just asking me to buy one.
Okay, that's fair. That's
so
fair.
I'm gonna go with Mr. Curtis on this one.
Fine for now.
So,
Mr. Curtis and the everyday Golem for the man on the run.
for the man.
I mean, the man who's working hard.
That does it. There's, like I said, there's no pop quiz. This just took the place of the quiz today. So that does it for today's lesson on Golem. Does anybody know who we will be talking about next time?
Butterfree.
No, we did. We already talked about Butterfree. See, nothing makes me more angry when you suggest a Pokemon that we've already talked about for sure.
Okay, fine.
I think it's Vikavolt.
Nope,
That's what we're talking
not
about.
quite. Not actually. No, not even a little bit correct. Corbin, you
It's
get one more guess, and
Rhyperior,
I'm-
the final evolution of the Geodude line. It just gets bigger. It's Rhyperior, right?
Well, most Pokemon don't have a fourth, full evolution.
I guess.
So keep that in mind. But no, we are learning. We're going to be taking a hard right turn here. We're going to be learning about Ponyta,
Ponyta.
which is neither a rock or an electric type Pokemon. But that will be for next week. And so that does it for today's lesson. If you have any questions for me, for Professor Jacob, God, so he's stuck in my throat. Hold on, I gotta take a drink of water.
That's okay. I mean, the smoke from last week is still lingering in here from the smoke machine that Curtis brought in from New Year's. Wild times.
Like I was saying, if you have any questions for me, feel free to send me a Gengar mail, or, if you don't have a lot of time, a Gmail. My at wwopokemon@gmail.com. If you don't have a Gengar mail, that is perfectly fine. You can also find me on the Flying Pokemon themed social network site Twitter. I'm there at WWOPokemon as well. If you really, really like this lesson and you want more students to fill our classroom, go ahead and give us a rating on Flapple Podcast. It's spelled like Apple. They forgot to put the FL in there for some reason. I don't know why.
It's silent.
No, it's not silent. It's invisible.
Right.
Because it makes a noise. But yes, that is the absolute best way for us to reach more students.
Please, we're almost at 30. We're almost at 30 ratings. Once we get to 30, we're going on a trip. We're doing it. We're going on a field trip.
I'll have to look into the funds. I don't know if we have the funds for a trip, unfortunately.
There's always a fun time on a field trip.
Don't worry, I'll make it happen. I'll sell my body if I need to.
Okay,
I'll come up with the funds.
Unnecessary. All right. Well, that does it. Before we go any further, that does it for today's lesson. So until next time, class is dismissed.
Welcome to the World of Pokemon is a part of the Pokecasters Network.